Reset. Oh. Right. Shoulder. Oh. Oh.
Welcome
Good
to
morning.
good morning. Welcome to the Don Bullitt Live Morning Show. We are pleased to be with you this morning. We are continuing the first part on some facts that need to be brought out about some things. And
Right.
then we'll have Evan Duff at 8 talking about the new school year on the university campus here. You'll have Thomas McDowell to talk about
Magnesium.
magnesium. Well, that's good. He continues to bring us nice topics.
He does.
But I just have done some. Old Roger, Country Boy Roger, does research, and he has the experience and stuff. And I think I'm pretty well exposed to finish a conversation on what has been discussed the last couple of days.
Right.
And as long as I give you the facts, that's going to be fine, and we will go from that, and we feel good. Sandra, and you have something from the legislature or from Norris or something that you'll read when I finish up.
From the
and
mayor.
it may be on this half to half hour or closer to 8, but we just want the details to go on as need to be, because what we're going to talk about is a game changer for this community. A game changer.
Game changer, no pun intended.
That's right. It's a game changer. And I have seen the whole plan. There aren't many that have, but I have. And it is spectacular. It is absolutely spectacular. And, because of certain issues, you can't say but so much. But there are things that we need to look back over our leadership teams, the school board, the county commissioner, the city council, and see about some of the decisions that have been made over the last 3 or 4 years and see how they turned out. And then reflect on, I think, jumping the gun with opposition to something that most don't even know what it says. And those are the points that I want to bring out, because it's about jobs, it's about the economy, it's about security, it's about seeing other locations and what's going on there. And we will be delicate, but we will be as factual as we can be. And but when somebody wants to do for your community what looks like should be a done deal, it's
Well,
spectacular.
To me, the two words are, which makes it different from another facility, the two words are private investment.
Well, I'm
Right?
going to talk about that in a second. Yes,
Right?
sir. Yes. But first, we'll see where the weather report is with Fred, and we'll be back and start our journey this morning on the topic that has been sort of hashed over, but give you some facts that may be a little more educated.
Right.
So, Fred, take it away.
This weather segment is brought to you by Fred's Food Club, the home of rock bottom prices. Accepting cash, credit, debit, and EBT cards. New extended hours in 3 locations to serve you in Rocky Mount, Wilson, and Greenville.
And good morning, everyone. Right in the middle of the week here, first week in August, and temperatures are looking very nice this morning. And the forecast for today, I think, will keep us out of the 90s. We stayed barely out of the 90s yesterday, and today it looks like we'll do just a little bit better. Let's take a look at the current conditions right now. We have 64 degrees, dew point at 61. Relative humidity is at 88%. Winds are calm, and the barometer at 30.18 inches. Well, the cool high pressure cell that has moved in behind that cold front, that is going to move on offshore later this afternoon. And then we'll see some upper level disturbances moving through the area on pretty much on Thursday and Friday. And that will give us a chance of showers and a few thunderstorms. Now, the thunderstorms in August are generally not as numerous as they are in July. July is really the king of thunderstorms. And I think we saw quite a few during the month of July. Not so many on average in August. Let's take a look at our current temperatures. And we'll start off at Piney Island, 81 degrees. And then we'll see that the other coastal areas, 66 at Beaufort, 75 at Hatteras, 68 at Bow, 72 at Terry Point, 66 at Newbern, 66 at Wilmington, and 70 at Southport. For the lows, we go over to the Northwest Mountains, and Boone, 54 degrees is the low, 59 at Jefferson, 70 at Asheville, 66 at Silva, and we'll see that we have a 68 at the Macon County Airport, and 63 at Andrews. The state average is 65, and the range between the highs and the lows, 27. Well, let's look at the forecast now for today. See a sunny sky with a high of 87 degrees, clear tonight, low of 63. For Thursday, with an increase in clouds, with a high of 87. Thursday night, mostly cloudy, chance of showers and storms late Thursday night, with a low of 69. Friday will be mostly cloudy, chance of showers and storms, high of 80. Mostly cloudy Friday night, chance of showers and storms continues with a low of 70. For Saturday, partly cloudy, high of 88. Partly cloudy Saturday night, low of 70. Sunny on Sunday with a high of 91. And clear Sunday night with a low of 72. A high yesterday, 89, our low 66, and currently we're at 64 degrees. That's the first look to local weather.
Well, welcome back again to the Don Bullitt Morning Show. Don Bullitt Chevrolet certainly has been a tremendous sponsor, as have others, and we appreciate that. And Monday and Tuesday, there has been a lot of discussion about the casino. The word casino connotes something that typically is not the case.
Mm-hmm.
This is, I've seen the whole program. It's an entertainment center. It's got nice lodging. It's got terrific restaurants. It has a casino attached and everything. And the location is so that the travelers and a lot of travelers, because, you know, the intersection up at 87 and the new one has over 77 million travelers a year from all over the world. People go down to our beaches, and from Pennsylvania, places like that, and quite often they say, oh, why don't we go over the Rocky Mount? Why don't we go over the Rocky Mount and spend the evening and maybe game a little bit, or there's a restaurant over there that we would really like to try.
And there'll be a nice hotel we can stay in.
Multiple. Multiple. What I'm saying is it's an entertainment center that happens to have a casino. But all this ruckus is about something that very people know about, and all they know is the word.
Yes.
The word. And like when I opened the paper up yesterday and the question of casinos, that's the only word being used rather than because this could be up to a 300-acre facility. That's
Yeah.
massive. But it says, a casino complex, and it is a entertainment complex. But then the statement about a gambling hall. This is not Dodge City. This is not Tombstone.
Right.
And the development. But when I saw a 6-1 vote without any investigations, without really any knowledge that I know of about the pros and cons, sitting down, let's look at the pros and cons. But the new guy on the block, Marvin Arrington, I'm proud of him because he voted, and I think his statement is correct. And he said the decision should rest in the hands of Rocky Mount voters, as it appears that the casino's likely location would be inside the city limits. That's exactly right. That is exactly right. And now I'm a taxpayer. I lived in Nash County all my life. I have, enjoyed, there are people that go into these facilities. I just talked to a widow, somebody told me they talked to a widower the other day and said, I sure hate the sweepstakes are gone. And Mayor, you've been told me, is because I could go over and for an hour, I could sit and get my mind off and just play. And quite
Yes.
often, it's not about winning and losing.
Right.
It's about whatever we're talking about. But there's the city council that should be the player.
Right.
There's a Nash County that for some reason has come out the way it is, which in my mind is so wrong. And then I'm going to talk about some decisions that's been made and why should we, when we elect an official, we put it in his hands to he or she to do what's best for us. All right?
Right.
The community. And to now go out and say we want, to go back to the people. Well, the people have told you. Now, I've talked to a lot of people about this, and I have not got one negative.
Right.
Not one negative. And these people have been from Rocky Mount, Wilson, Fayetteville, Oak City, Williamston.
Right.
Now, my question to you, my question to our audience is what does the county commissioners want? Keep it as it is, or have a vision to make citizens financially secure, because this will bring 2,500 people, 2,500 to the casino aspect, and 2,500 to the other side are the figures that I haven't quoted. That starts at $50,000 plus benefits. They will have a cafeteria there for the employees to eat pro bono. Now, where else? Now, the visits that I have made around the world, usually the employees have been there 20, 30 years because it's safe, security is out,
Yes.
beautiful.
And they get paid well.
They do.
They get paid well in those
But
casinos.
restaurants are nice. I mean, the shops that'll be there will be nice because this private monies is in a position that it will help. And I don't see. I asked Nash County commissioners. What are they, by saying no, see, what irritates you, they say no, but give you no pros or cons, no
Right.
why or where. It's just, oh, I heard it's a casino, and, oh, I don't want to do that. Well, look at the whole, there's gonna be children activities at the
Right.
facility. They're gonna be
It's
things like that.
indicating a water park or something,
That's it.
isn't it?
Yeah, something like
Family water
Wolf,
park.
something like Wolf Lodge.
Mm-hmm.
Now that you can sit around and talk, but you know, and they say, "Gosh, it's so bad. It's going to take all the." Well, look at the people that go out and buy $25,000 boats. Don't even think about it. Think about the people that go out and buy guns that are 3 or 4, 5,000. That's okay. But if you go into the casino and play the slots of cards and lose $100, then you are a gambler. How about our good friends that play bingo? See,
Right.
bingo at churches is fine, but bingo in a casino is what? Illegal. It's gambling. So you make up your mind. But it angers me that we have an opportunity to change. People will be, Rocky Mount will become a destination because 87 and 95, I told you 77 plus million come, and it's one of the busiest, if not the busiest offshoot that's there. Now, questions about this, and to me, is effective leaders. Share 5 is, I'm going to come back, we're going to come a break, and I will continue this conversation with 5 essential skills of leaders, the 3 C's of leadership, and why taking risks and challenges are pretty good. And we'll talk about that because I'm strong about, I love this area. I have promoted it.
Well, you've lived here all your
I
life,
live, I
Roger.
promote it all over the country and world.
Right.
I've got people to move here, but that's another issue. Pernell, take it away and come back as soon as you can. Again, welcome back, and I will continue because the project we're talking about, the entertainment with the casino aspect, is a city decision. So the county should back out and just let it work itself. But it's $1.5 billion of private investment. That's $10 million in property taxes. Now, why would the leadership of our county commissioners have a problem with $10 million? I've seen the final product, and it is just spectacular. And there's probably going to be something like the Tanger outlets and et cetera. We have a call. Let's see who it may be. Good morning. We had a call. Oh, hello.
Hey,
Good morning.
y'all. I'm watching on TV. Sandra,
Yes.
I live out at Westmount area.
Uh-huh.
I've not been able to hear anything on y'all for almost 2 weeks since the
Yeah.
tornado. Is there a situation with selling or Oxyman or whatever still going on?
They're still working. They've got our picture good. They've got everything good. But some areas, they're working on something they figured out now is your television is digital. And, you've got digital television, right? So.
It's a Samsung here. Yeah.
I don't know, but anyway, they're telling me there is something else they're working on now. I don't know,
Right.
but they've
Well,
about
I'm gonna
got
keep
it.
watching you. I like to see your faces.
Don't-
Well, go on
Roger.
go on WHIGTV.com and
Yes.
you can get it with the voice sound.
Everything is
Okay.
there.
All right. I'll go that route then.
Okay.
Yes.
Y'all have a good day. Okay.
Thank
Okay.
you.
But my question is, for the county commissioners, what are they going to do to replace $10 million in property tax? That does not include the food and beverages and lodging and what have you. I think we got a good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm
Good
doing
morning.
great.
I was speaking about the casino that's proposed for the area.
Okay.
I cannot understand why they haven't made a decision about the consent come to the area. There's so many benefits it can bring to the area. It's phenomenal. Number one, one of the biggest things is going to be a tax base.
Well, that's right, and they're good citizens. They're good citizens because it's so regulated. It's not like Flamingo in Las Vegas back in the 30s and 40s with mafia handling it. The entertainments, you get the great shows that, I mean, I appreciate that. You're exactly right. It's a business, and as I say, if I can play bingo
Right.
in one place and it's perfectly all right, and I
Yeah,
play bingo in
they
another
got
and that's a
bars here.
sin.
They have a casino.
Well, but
That's one thing. The way of life for the whole area will improve. Jobs, shopping center, hotels, way of life improving, the roads, school systems. It's thousands of things that because number one, the casino by itself will bring billions in the area. I say businesses will improve. They will benefit from it. It's so many. You need to get rid of them people in the man's camp because they ain't thinking.
Well, that's why we got to use our vote, because like I
Well-
say, I have talked to so many people and not one has objected. Most of them are saying the same things you are because they're looking at the whole picture.
Well,
They're-
it's a legislative vote. The legislature has to vote on it.
But anyway, we appreciate that positive statement because this is about a game, as I said earlier, a game changer. And I'm sorry if you're watching, I'm sorry, but it makes all the difference in the world. If not, how is, Nash County pulled out of the gateway. Well, we get,
Right.
yes, indeed. Hello?
Indeed.
Hello?
I just wanted to wish y'all a perfect morning.
Well, great.
People come on here every morning with some, crazy stuff, and me and my friends are just watching you on the TV right now, and thought y'all could use some positivity.
Okay.
Thank
we
you.
appreciate
Thank
that.
you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. I
All right.
hope y'all have a blessed morning.
All right, thank you. But as I say, how is Nash County Commissioners going to add 10,000 jobs, $10 million in taxes, $1.5 billion
Right.
in infrastructure, a venue that is large hotels
Right.
and facilities in a
Is
location
this
that's so
gonna
many.
be something like a Caesar's Palace,
It's going to.
similar to Caesar's
no.
Palace?
It will. The whole complex is. When you see that final rendition, it's amazing. It's amazing. Now I went up. My wife and I and a couple drove up to Danville, Virginia, to see the new facility there. Now they are just getting ground floor, but the land is all cleared out and everything to build the hotels and the. But right now it's in like a
tent.
a
type
tent,
thing,
but
yeah.
once you go inside, it is so organized, so nice, and terrific. And all the driving license, all the license tags were North Carolina. And
Interesting.
this past weekend, I know somebody that went up to the Portsmouth one, and that's an hour and 15 minutes.
And that's money taken out of North Carolina.
Well, that's exactly right. And
Money
when
taken
when
outside
87
of the
when
state.
when 87 gets there, it's going to even be easier because Elizabeth City is like an hour and 15 minutes away. And
Right.
from here it's 2 hours.
Right.
But it's so regulated.
Yes.
It's like it's so regulated.
Well,
but if you look
there'll
at the other things, I'm saying if you look at the other things, and I see.
Well, it's regulated by the Gambling Commission.
That's right.
And-
It's
and, you
it's
know,
tight. It's
they,
tight. And as I say, crime doesn't happen. If somebody comes in and sits down and goes to sleep or
Right.
dozes, they're out.
They're out. Yeah, the
Yeah.
riffraff will be asked out, no doubt
Yeah.
about it. So,
But an effective leader does this. They have 5 essential skills. Innovation. How do we do innovations to take care of our people? How do we do things that will make us special, and we need to be a destination, and this is where Rocky Mountain would come. We need to have a vision. History, we can't do anything about the past,
No.
but if we did, we sure would have had Sanderson Food Farms or whatever here, because that is the best citizen that Lenore County has. Great facility, and all the things that people told us were
Yes.
going to happen has not. You know, anything. Now, there are situations just like in New Orleans and sort of like that creates an issue where people want a cut of the action. And all of a sudden they're in jail because greed will get you there.
Right.
Greed will get you there. But the inner values, what's going on? Inspiration, you got to be inspirational. How, and it's shown that business transfers, companies, CEOs and everything, they like cities with entertainment and things like communications. And the 3 C's of good leadership is being competent, being committed, and have character, integrity. But if we don't take this risk and let it go somewhere else, as Sanderson Farms, then you see how some of those decisions and how things were handled in the area with COVID, Sandra, just as now we found out. Yeah, just should not have been that. Well, we have another call. Good morning, you're on the air.
Good morning, Roger. I'm glad to see you speaking up for the casino. You are exactly correct.
Well, I appreciate that and it's the city's decision.
Right. And the people of Rocky Mount has given Robbie Davis too much power to go to the General Assembly to actually destroy the growth of Rocky Mount. You're correct, Sanderson and Farm. They want to come to Nash County. They pitched a fit. They pitched a fit about Carolina Gateway. They practically went there and decoupled our school system that was created with business leaders over 25 years ago. And so it's anti. I'm just glad this is Councilman Andre Knight to see someone in Rocky Mount finally publicly stand up and say that this is a good idea. And I'm quite sure all his millions, he has been to many casinos across this country. It will help both Edgecombe, Rocky Mount, and Nash County. So,
Well, Andre,
publicly,
you sit down and you look at pros and you look at cons, and we have been in the best location in the East United States, and we have never benefited like we should because of the leadership quality vision. We have not taken and developed the vision, and this is an opportunity that has come to us. And it's come to us because we hadn't had the economic growth that we should. Wouldn't you agree?
correct. And so now it's a chance, and I just hope that from this point forward, whatever opportunities that we have, that we will capitalize on it and move forward. So I just want to say, appreciate your comments.
Well, thank you so much. Have a great day.
Mhm.
But as I say, this is pros and cons.
Right.
And let the one
people-
without sin cast a stone, right?
But the citizens, you know, you have to realize, you know, this may be something that you will not get a citizen vote on, like the event center. You didn't get one.
We don't
probably
need
won't
one.
get
We have
one.
elected officials.
Yeah, I'm letting people know that you probably will not, you know, you're not gonna get a
Well, it's
referendum.
well, it's not
Not.
Nash County's place to call it, is it?
Well, it is in the city of Rocky Mount, from what I understand.
Well,
I
it can
will
be-
make a disclosure that Sandra has no idea where the land is. I have no idea where it's at.
Well, it's going to be in a great place, and everybody's going to love it. So let's let's unify and say we want Rocky Mount to be a destination rather than just passing through on my way from Florida. I mean, we have that chance right now to step forward, and certainly more pros than cons, because as adults, I don't need to be told whether I can go or not. I don't need to be,
Well,
and all
it's
this.
personal choice whether you go into a casino or not. What happened to
That's-
personal? It's personal choice whether you visit a casino or not.
Well, there's no doubt about that, and in the Bible, gluttony is a sin, right? That's what I understand. So if gaming is illegal, let's do away with all the buffets. Let's do away with all
Well,
the
you know,
buffets.
food is another vice, just like
That's
gambling,
right.
just like
Drink-
alcoholism, drug abuse.
Hold on, we got a
Food.
call. Let's see. Let me take this right here,
Yeah,
okay?
we'll take this and then we'll go to break.
Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Sandra.
Good morning.
Hey. Roger.
Oh, thank you. Women, well, you got that right, baby.
It's nice that y'all talk about the pros and cons of the casino and giving giving different opinions. I said yesterday. I was talking about I was concerned about the corruption and stuff
Oh, no.
with casino. At least I know it's more regulated than the sweepstakes places that have been got in our area.
Well, we were going to die when the lottery passed. We were going to die when liquor by the drink. People do this out in public or behind closed doors. It just depends who you are.
And I'm sorry to cut you off.
No.
Anyway, we definitely do need the business. Maybe not that kind of business, but I mean, people are going to waste their money anyhow. So I mean, we might as well get some benefit from it.
Well-
And the sad thing is, this might be breaking news to y'all, but I just saw it on Facebook, so it might be unverified at this point. I mean, you can't trust everything you read on the
I
internet.
don't trust hardly anything I see on Facebook.
Southern Bank on Fairview is apparently closing. Apparently, they've sent letters out to their customers.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome. Have a nice day.
Thank
All right.
you.
But
right, bye.
I still. Oh, Pernell, I think you need to take it, don't you? I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yes, we need to take our break.
This weather segment is brought to you by Fred's Food Club, the home of rock bottom prices. Accepting cash, credit, debit, and EBT cards. New extended hours in 3 locations to serve you in Rocky Mount, Wilson, and Greenville.
And welcome back, everyone. We'll take another look at our weather this morning. High pressure, which is to our north, is going to move out over the coast and into the Atlantic this afternoon. And that will allow some upper level disturbances to come through our area on Thursday and Friday. This, of course, would trigger some showers and thunderstorms. And then by the weekend, the first part of the weekend, we go back to a sunny sky and fairly, compared to last week, we'll call them mild temperatures. Temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. Well, the forecast map for today shows that we'll be high and dry today. The storms. Let's take a look at the forecast map. And we'll start off in the northeast. We'll see that high pressure right here over southern New York State. That's going to move on out. And right now we'll have dry conditions from Maine all the way down through Ohio, and then down through eastern Virginia, the Piedmont, and eastern North Carolina. We pick up a chance of thunderstorms down around the Charleston area on the coast, and they actually begin back up in the Appalachians of Virginia, then on down all the way through the Florida Keys. and then across the eastern Gulf up into Louisiana. Here's that cold front that came through the area a couple of days ago, and it has been stalled down in pretty much this location right along the St. Mary's River here on the Georgia-Florida border, and then on up into Nebraska. We'll see an area of severe weather potential right in here in west central Missouri and down through southern Illinois. This area right here, heavy rain also possible from southern Iowa down into western Kentucky. Another area of heavy rain potential is up here in the Rockies, southern Montana, on down into Utah and down into Colorado, right in this area here. So this area and this area will be our focal points for severe weather today. Thunderstorms still pretty widely scattered across the country through the nation's midsection and westward out into the Rockies. Well, let's take a look at our forecast. And for today, we'll see a sunny sky with a high of 87. Clear tonight, low of 63. Increasing clouds on Thursday, high of 87. Chance of showers and storms late Thursday night with a low of 69. Showers and storms Friday and Friday night, a high of 80, low of 70. Saturday, partly cloudy, high of 88. Partly cloudy Saturday night, low of 70. Sunny on Sunday, high of 91. Clear Sunday night with a low of 72. The average highs for this date, 87 degrees for the next 5 days. That's the average high. And the lows will average around 69 degrees. Rocky Mountain Almanac, the high temperature on this date, 102 degrees. That was in 1980. And the low came 10 years later, 1990, when we had a 58. Currently 64 degrees, and that's another look at the weather.
Well, Sandra, we need a shot in the arm, and hopefully this will be it. It's before us if we don't take it and use it for our citizens' advantage. And rather than spending money on referendums and things like that, we need to spend money on sheriff's cars and sheriff's pay, and we need to
sure need that.
get social service workers that can help the caseloads. Wouldn't you say that's more important
It's
than
very
spending
important.
money
Yes.
spending money on things like this? We can come up with money like that. We hadn't spent our COVID money. What's going on? It's a great morning to be alive. Thank you for calling.
Good morning, Roger.
morning.
Good morning, Sandra. Good show this morning.
Thank you.
I would just comment that it is interesting that here is a topic that has generated a fair amount of civil discourse among the community along what's going on, which is good. We need more of that. It's also disappointing that it takes a topic such as this to really get people to start commenting and thinking about what's going on in our community.
That's right.
I would say that that we could get this level of comment on the fact that we have children that are dying under the care of Nash County Department of Social Services, and this is just what we know about that's going on there. We don't know whether there's any level of mistreatment or abuse or any other deaths that have gone on because Nash County has refused to answer any questions or give anything out regarding that situation other than a very prepared statement. All politics are local, and this is a situation where we need people to focus on all of the things that are going on in the community, not just something that comes up that is a hot button topic like the casino, which I will end my comments by saying this. If the citizens of Nash County and Rocky Mount that live on the Nash County side of Rocky Mount make their voices heard loudly enough that the General Assembly reconsiders Nash County as one of the locations for the casino, it is highly likely that Edgecombe County will step up and say, we'll take it. and they will say, we have the land at the intersection of Raleigh Road and US 64
That's exactly what I
that
thought.
is readily available to place the casino there, which means that the citizens of Nash County will not receive the benefits. Nash County won't receive it, Edgecombe will, from having it there, and it will be in the same area that it is being proposed to now because of the geographic location of Rocky Mount on 64, I-87, and I-95. So I would ask people to think about that, and with their comments for and against the casino, understand that the state of North Carolina is doing this, and they have admitted this for one reason and one reason only. This is a revenue play. They don't like the money going to Virginia and possibly South Carolina. They want the money to stay here. With that as the focus, this is going to happen.
It's going to happen. Yes,
where the casino will be located.
It's going to happen somewhere.
You guys are doing a great job. It's a great show. Thank you so much for allowing me to call.
Thank you. Well, see, that's the thing, is the location right now is a great location, tentatively based on transportation and things like that. And a big percentage of those will be out-of-staters, internationals, and things like that, or people at the beach during the summer and things. Just think from that point. But we need to be spending money. If you can tell me how you can get 5,000 jobs and $10 million tax base, then county commissioners do anything you want. Just make it happen.
Right.
But don't keep making excuses why. The only reason we have this opportunity is because our economics is not going and doing what it's supposed to do.
Well, exactly. I mean,
it's not here.
We'll tell you
if
in a minute.
Good morning.
Why they
You're on
chose
air.
Nash County.
Yes. Good morning, live morning show. Do a good job. I'm still watching.
Okay.
Well, that's good. We count on you.
Yes, sir. All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Okay, Sandra, she has a prepared statement with some of the information that I've already shared.
Yes, you've already shared a lot of this.
But that's all right, hearing it again. But I hope that you'll give consideration, because we hadn't had a negative. You know, if I'd come on and been negative, I could have had all of you negative.
Mm-hmm.
But I've seen what this has done for communities. Danville, Virginia is just like us. They lost their textiles.
Right.
They lost their tobacco. They lost Dan River. They lost all that.
Yes.
And they are bubbling. Right now, you cannot get a hotel room in that town. The restaurants are filled.
So they got their shot in the arm. They got it.
And they've taken it and are celebrating. I mean celebrating. And that's exactly what we'll do.
Well,
once you see the facility, when it's completed, or it'll be amazing, because I have seen it, and it is, I don't say incredible a whole lot, but it sure is.
Right.
Go ahead.
Well, there's 4 counties, and the reason, Roger, they say the reason the legislature chose us is the reason we're in the running in Nash County. It's economically depressed.
That's right.
Towns that need something.
Well, you look at Edgecombe, Halifax, Franklin, Nash, and Wilson. That should speak volumes. I mean, if everything was going great, you know what? We wouldn't be getting this opportunity.
That's right. That's exactly
and understand,
right.
North Carolina is the #1 business state in America now. And if we're at the bottom of that list, then something isn't right in our area. Something
That's
isn't right. And I'll leave it like that and go to Sandra.
Well, this is a prepared statement from the mayor and press release kind of thing. So I wanted to read this just to and it's got a lot of the things that Roger's already said. This is from the mayor. As you may have seen in the news, the state legislature may decide to award Rocky Mount, one of the 4 casinos in the state, to be located in counties of high unemployment. There you go. It is currently a part of budget negotiations that we should learn the outcome in over the next few weeks. What you may not know is the proposed casino is part of a large mixed-use entertainment district that you just said, Roger, that would also include hotels, a sports complex, homes, offices, community space, and a proposed water park. This large commercial resident development could bring about 1,500 to 2,000 jobs, from construction to implementation, and 10 million in local property tax and utility fee revenue to our city. City of Rocky Mount already has an option on the land in the proposed location. I need your help to counteract any negativity the Nash County Commission has expressed, and it comes to the casino, as it comes to the casino and entertainment district slated for Rocky Mount. So, anyway, there you go. So,
Well, that's good because the information that we have gathered from our callers this morning has been very positive,
well, if
very
you wanna,
upbeat.
well, anybody, Roger, that wants to email the legislative leadership.
Yeah.
If you want to, now people need to do that. Let your legislature know how you feel. So you can go to Speaker Moore at tim.moore@ncleg, L-E-G, ncleg.gov, or you can email Senator Berger, phil.berger@ncleg.gov, phil.berger@ncleg.gov. They're voting on this August the 8th. Is it August the 8th?
But if we let this dog go by, we deserve everything that our commissioners are giving us, and we need to use our vote to straighten some of this out.
Okay. Well, as we've said, we've got some guests, and I want to mention something coming to Nash Arts this Saturday. It's a band called Mask. They look kind of interesting. They do have on these interesting masks, but they're from Raleigh. They're rock and roll. They're old, not oldie goldie rock and roll, but they're rock and roll, 70s, 80s rock and roll. You'll enjoy it at 7 o'clock, Nash Arts, this coming Saturday night. So go see Mask. I think you rock and rollers out there will enjoy that. So anyway, there you go.
With that, we're going to take a break, and I'll be back with Dr. Evan Duff, president of North Carolina Wesleyan University, to talk about the upcoming year and the activities and new programs and etc. But thank you for listening, and if you have any comments on this morning, because I feel so vehemently about we've got to do something to grow this into a bustling community, a great downtown that would provide. We need hotels downtown. We need, so maybe the whole situation, because this is going to bring, if we get it, it's going to bring a lot of opportunities.
As long as it's private development hotels, in my book.
Yeah. With that, we've had a nice morning with you, and we'll be back shortly. Thank you. Welcome back to the Don Bullock Morning Show. It's live, and so you can feel free to call. But I have my friend and Dr. Evan Duff here, president of Wesleyan University, and he's done a wonderful job for us. And as is customary, a lot is going on. A lot is going on campus, and students will be coming back, particularly the athletic teams and all. And we still are finishing up camp. Athens Drive for their 28th year is having theirs. And I think they're going to the Rose Bowl this year.
I think so.
I think they're going to the Rose Bowl. And Greg Fishel used to come with them because his... But anyway, with that, tell us what you're looking at as far as the income and anything that you know about the athletic teams, anything about new classes, masters, sure. Because I know we continue to add masters and stuff, and making it easy online if you need that. So
yeah, I'd love to share information. So our incoming class our new students come in on August 11th. We have right now over 300 slated to come in. We're still pushing for our goal of 335, and a lot of times that gap gets closed in these last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And so our incoming class looks stronger than last year. I think last year we came in around 278, 280, so doing well there. We have new programs. We have 4 graduate programs now. So we have.
And what are those?
Yeah, absolutely. We have a Masters of Criminal Justice, which was our first one.
Yeah,
that
that's a big major here and fulfills a lot of that.
Absolutely. It's 100% online. People in public service can complete that degree in about 12 months. We also have our MBA, and two interesting tracks on the MBA that I think people may not know about is we actually have an information security track, which cybersecurity is going to continue to be a threat, and that we need people who are educated to know how to handle those things. But also we have a supply chain management track on the MBA, which again, supply chain management, distribution, logistics.
Not just specialty areas.
Absolutely. Now our two new programs are a Masters of Public Health.
Yeah, I saw that. That's just been basically approved by Sykes, right?
Yes, it's approved by our accreditor. We have our first cohort starting in August, and we are the only program in the state that has a focus on physical health and wellness. And so it's a specialty area that a lot of people in health are moving into because they realize that exercise and physical health really has a positive impact on our healthcare system because people are using less resources because they're physically fit. So first program in the state to have that, and then our last and fourth program at the current moment is a Masters of Strategic Leadership, and that really is preparing leaders to be strategic, to develop strategic plans for their organizations. So those are our four programs. All of them are 100% online, perfect for the working adult.
Well, that's right.
Yeah.
Westland has always been ahead of the game in that adult education.
We've been offering programs to working adults since the mid-'70s. We have over 50 years of experience, probably the leader from that perspective in the state.
How many schools are we tied in with now?
As far as community colleges?
Yes.
Yeah, so we have over 30 community college partnerships all over the state. And so that's not just articulation agreements and helping their students transfer, but it's also physically offering coursework.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
You know, some of these community colleges, and of course Lewisburg is the single boarding, are they're looking for opportunities to help them, with programs and what have you, because North Carolina has such a tremendous junior college program, one of the tops in the country, I would think. Now, you were talking about the athletic, the science side. Now we have tremendous facilities over in the Dome, the tennis facility. Would you like to expand on that? Let people, because I understand you can go over and find out this and that and everything to a delight. And our faculty, of course, during the summer are always speaking all over the world.
They are. So the Dome that houses our indoor tennis facility, indoor squash courts, and our exercise science program. If you're in the community and you've not seen this facility, we invite you on campus to come and view exactly what we're doing in there. But it's twofold. So it certainly helps with athletics. Tennis has been one of our top athletic programs. They've won their division the last 13 years.
They have not lost a match in 13 years in the conference, which speaks for itself.
Yeah, they do an excellent job. But our exercise science, which is one of our growing top 4 majors here on the traditional campus, prepares students to go into occupational therapy, physical therapy, working with cardio rehab. We have state-of-the-art facilities in there for these students to learn on the equipment that they will be using when they get into those healthcare fields. But it's a wonderful program. It's a great marriage of, I think, who we are as an institution, that we have about 50% student athletes, and so to marry athletics and academics together, I think it was a great thing.
And hopefully, as time goes on, in the last few years, we've added the football facility, which is very nice. But if we can get a field house and everything for for sports science or what have you, and there are some possibilities, hopefully, that can happen. The university has never been in it as physically fit. Physical maybe a little different, but you know, it's so tough. It is so tough for private, small, liberal arts colleges that do not have tremendous endowments. It's tough. A lot of them are struggling.
Yes.
But our again, some are very aware, but tell them about the great diverse makeup of our student body that hasn't always been, but for the last decade or so has been, and just adds so much to this community.
And that's what I would love for viewers to understand is everything that we do here at Wesleyan really impacts the students we serve and the community we serve. So I know sometimes people, you know, during their time feel a certain way about certain organizations, but come visit campus, come talk to our students and really see the impact we're having here. But we serve students from over 40 different countries. About 15% of our population are international students, many of which move on to work in our organizations here in our community.
That's right.
We have 2 students right now that are in a fellowship with Pfizer, and so they are not the, you know, that's just an example of how we have continued to help the workforce and economic development of the community. But we serve students from all different backgrounds. We have a large minority base. We're considered a minority serving institution because of our diversity.
And international students.
And international students, but 60% of our population comes within a 60-mile radius, and that statistic alone shows the impact we're having in our communities because we're supplying the education for those right here in our community and neighboring communities.
Well, Dr. Duff, when you look at Pfizer, a global firm, and you can get a student that's educated in English but speaks 3 or 4 or 5 languages, what an asset.
Yes.
Because I remember a few years ago, the tennis team and the golf team won their respective championships. And I was saying if I can help you in any way, because there weren't a lot of seniors, but one senior from the golf team came up to me and said, I was thinking about this. And I called Marty Neely, who was the plant manager out at the time, and told him he came out and interviewed and got the job because he spoke like 3 languages. And he knew the world because he had traveled the world. And in a global firm, that's got to be special.
Yeah, I think we've had a wonderful connection with many organizations in our community, but Pfizer has certainly been one as well. And even in this time where they have needed some support of recent due to the tornado, we've been able to provide them with opportunities to use our facilities and continue operations as needed. So it's a two-way street.
Because, you know, the Cummins classroom and the Pfizer classroom, those are magnificent, just absolutely magnificent facilities.
Yeah. Both of those are classrooms that both of those organizations donated money for us to renovate,
and great.
They are 2 of probably our top classes on the campus.
Oh yeah,
classrooms.
Have you heard any of the coaches talking about the possible athletic opportunities this year? I talked to Aaron Denton. I'm going to say Aaron Denton. He's the athletic director. After my meeting today, we have something. But athletics means so much to this campus.
Yeah, it certainly does, and it's a piece of the development of our students. So again, 50% play some form of athletic game, and I think the coaches, I just met with them this week, I think they're excited about the season, they're excited about their recruits, still have a few recruits even as of this week, finalizing some visas for some international students, but I think they're excited about the season. They've got many of our teams had a lot of seniors graduate, and we love that they've made that success and they're moving on in their life, but we hate to see them go. But I think we have a lot of great new freshmen and transfer
Yeah.
students that are going to do a great job.
Well, and that's good. But I know last year the male sports was the best in the conference. They had more championships than anybody, and the women were like third. But this is a big conference.
Yes.
And of course we compete, and I just like the international students also are so great academically.
Yeah, they do a great job in the classroom. I mean, I would say that all of our students do well. Obviously, people come in at different levels, and we have support structures in place to help them all. But I think when you are spending that much time away from your family,
Ooh.
you're leaving home, you do have a little different perspective.
Well, I know some of my friends that we interact, as you know, with a number of international students, particularly the currency shift and the Ukrainian region and Russia and China. It's incredible at what some of them go through just to get here.
Right.
Just to get here. And you know, a few years ago, Venezuela's currency was so low, I mean, even the wealthiest couldn't afford the education here. And I know you have stepped forward on a couple occasions to help individuals because of the currency change, or their parents retired, or things like that. And that's what's so nice about a small university like Wesleyan. But Dr. Duff, there's a lot going on. We knew we couldn't take, but at least it's just a renewal. And but we appreciate you being on, and if you have any parting words, we welcome that.
Just want to welcome the community to our campus in any capacity. We're open to the public. We have wonderful trails for people to walk. If you want to volunteer, get involved. Our students are some amazing people. So we welcome you to campus and look forward to partnering with you.
And the Dunn Center is always special for programs, the best deal around.
Absolutely.
But with that, we'll take a break, and then Thomas McDowell and Sandra will be right back. So thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And welcome to our Farm to Home segment. I have this morning, as usual on the first and third weeks, Thomas McDowell with Medical Park Pharmacy located in the Boyce Willis Clinic building. Good morning.
All right. Good morning, Sandra.
So
Thanks for
glad to
having me.
have- You know, this is where we get educated on all these little things that we need to do and need to know about. And you're talking this morning about magnesium, and I said, magnesium, yes, we hear about it, but do we know about it? So
Yeah, I think it's one of the most underappreciated supplements that's over the counter, readily available. So I'm excited to dive into some details behind why it's one of the most common supplements that I recommend.
Okay.
We've talked about fish oil in the past, we talked about vitamin D, but if there was one other supplement that I would recommend for a lot of different situations, it would be magnesium, and it's one that we're not always getting as much as we need through our diet. And I always recommend going the diet, lifestyle route, and getting your nutrients through food, but sometimes it just doesn't make sense.
Right.
And it can be a lot easier to take a high quality supplement. So it's great that we have that option. So,
Absolutely.
so magnesium, it's a mineral. You can get it through food, but like we said, we can get it through supplementation, and it's involved in just hundreds of processes in the body. We'll talk about some of the benefits of it. Most folks are used to seeing the 400 milligram magnesium oxide is probably the most common supplement. And there's different salt forms, and so we'll talk about that a little bit more as well. But most people are deficient. That's what's important to know. Most people are deficient, and it's not something that you're necessarily aggressively testing for usually. You can test for it, of course, but it's one of those that it's sometimes put on the back burner, and it can really make you feel better. And we'll get into that. But really involved in when we talk about the different processes in the body, just cellular energy production. So it's cellular energy is key for everything our body's doing: brain health, organs, muscles.
Yes.
And if you think about those things, if we're feeling great as far as our brain health and our energy and our muscles, then we're pretty functional and feeling healthy.
Right.
So it's really important for energy and just functionality.
Right.
And so some of the benefits are, like we said, energy production, stress reduction, so it can help minimize stress.
Oh, wow. Y'all listen up
Yeah,
to that
so
one.
that's a big one.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Everybody's stressed, and so better sleep, healthy muscles, healthy bones. It's good for nerve function, heart health. It can actually reduce blood pressure a little bit.
Wow.
There's studies that show that it lowers systolic and diastolic, and we're talking about systolic, that's the top number, diastolic's the bottom number. Can lower both of those, not super significant, but about 5 millimeters of mercury on each side. So if you're sitting at 125 over 85, might bring you back to 120 over 80.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty easy fix to help if you're kind of on that borderline where the doctor's talking about putting you on a blood pressure medication. That's an option that with typically less side effects. So
cellular
energy production, stress reduction.
Stress reduction, blood pressure,
sleep,
all
heart,
kinds of things.
muscles. Yeah. And so we can get it from supplements. And one of the key things that I wanted to hit on is the difference in the different supplements. If you just go grab some magnesium off the counter, you're rolling the dice, so to speak.
Right.
As far as quality goes, which we always hit on, there's a big difference in quality in over-the-counter supplements because there's not as much regulation as there is with prescription medication. So, oxide is the most common. It's the cheapest, most readily available, but it's not absorbed very well.
Oh, wow.
So you're really not getting a ton of it when you take it.
So why take it? Why not go the route of getting the best kind? Because if you're going to take it anyway, you might as well get the benefit, right?
Yeah, and you're getting a little bit of, if you just need a little boost, it's not saying it's not doing anything, but it's not absorbed really well. And then if you don't have a lot of acid production, it's like if you're taking an acid reflux medication, that can affect how the magnesium is absorbed. So the oxide's common, and not saying throw it away if that's what you're taking, but just consider if you're not feeling any of the effects that we're talking about, the benefits, and maybe your magnesium level's not increasing. It's something to think about switching. And so when we talk about the oxide, that's like the salt form.
Right.
That's what's kind of tacked on to the magnesium to help our body absorb it. And there's the oxide it helps. It's just still not super absorbable. There's one called glycinate, magnesium glycinate, that's probably the best absorption out of the magnesium supplement. So you get the most bang for your buck.
Okay.
And actually a little bit less of the side effects. So some of the side effects that can come along with magnesium are some upset stomach and even some diarrhea. And so if you're getting a better quality one and one that's better absorbed, like glycinate, then you're usually going to cut down a little bit on some of that upset
So
stomach.
magnesium glycinate.
So that's probably the most absorbable salt form. Now, make sure you don't just go grab some magnesium citrate in the liquid bottle, because if you haven't heard of that, that's a colonoscopy pre-treatment type supplement, and that's people,
don't grab that.
don't grab that and use it as an everyday supplement, because that one's purposefully designed to essentially be a laxative.
Yes.
And so that's not what you want to grab. I did a video about that the other day on our social media. It's one where you'll usually drink the whole bottle the day before your colonoscopy, because you're trying to clean out your system so that the physician can get a good idea of what's going on, in your GI tract and colon and so forth. So citrate's another salt form that is not very absorbable at all, and so it's really passing through.
Right.
Which makes sense. That's purposefully how that one works. So there's different magnesiums out there, but make sure you're getting a good one. But talk to your pharmacist about it.
Absolutely, and I can't say that enough. Have a relationship with your pharmacist and call them.
Yeah.
They're so easily accessible.
And we're providing a lot of access to information, but I'm not saying you have to go at it alone, because we're talking a lot of detail and some biochemistry. And so talk to your pharmacist. Just knowing that there are options and resources and information is really the key to, is what we're trying to portray in this segment. So that's what we really want to get across. So talk to them. We can order things specifically for you, usually next day, if we don't have it on the shelf. But magnesium's one that I would highly recommend incorporating into somebody's daily regimen.
Well, is this something, Thomas, do you get this checked by your physician, your levels, or how do you know you need magnesium, or do you just take some?
You can get it checked. It's usually pretty safe to take some.
So it won't hurt you to just take magnesium?
No. And if you're not really, as long as you're taking a pretty, a normal dose.
Yes.
Now, if you're eating a ton of the foods rich in magnesium, and so some of the foods.
I was going to ask you that.
Very good. So if you're eating a lot of these foods, you probably don't need it. But if you're curious, you can have it checked. Leafy greens.
Okay.
So kale and spinach. Almonds, avocados, nuts, seeds, some whole grains, and then there's some high fiber foods that have magnesium, and then there's even some cereals that are fortified with magnesium, which would be kind of like supplementing. But those are the things. So it's not a ton of stuff, but
that's not really a lot, but still,
it's kind of some things that you are considered healthy.
Yes.
So if you're not eating really healthy, you might want to consider a supplement. And so you'll see usually you'll see a lot of benefit from it. And sleep is another one that it can actually help with. That's really important. But most people take it. Honestly, they take it for muscle cramps.
Oh,
Probably
wow.
most common is what people have heard, that's something it can help with.
And as you get older, and it's not only people that are older, don't think I'm saying that, but as you get older, I would hear my grandfather say, when he was living, how bad his leg cramps were. He didn't hardly sleep. And so, leg cramps are very common and very painful. So if you can eliminate that, then, magnesium, hey, you might want to go to the pharmacy, to Medical Park Pharmacy, and grab some.
Yeah,
Ask them about
we've
what
got
kind.
one that's a really high quality Solutions RX pharmaceutical grade that is actually designed specifically for leg cramps. It's called LC for leg cramps, but it's magnesium glycinate, and it's really absorbable, high quality. And I have several patients taking it that just could not get rid of the leg cramps,
Right.
and it did the trick for them.
Right.
And so we talked about it being key for helping muscles relax and function properly. So that relaxation of the muscles is what eliminates the muscle cramps, hopefully, is the goal. So it's a great option. You'll see some topical formulations for muscle cramps too.
Right.
There's something called TheraWorks that you rub on a muscle that has magnesium. Probably not as absorbable as the glycinate oral form, but might be better than oxide. Definitely citrate.
If you're having those leg cramps, I will tell you, go get your magnesium, folks. And there's probably a lot of you out there that do have them.
Yeah, and a lot of folks are taking, prescription medications, and so it could be a way to eliminate something that might be more costly. Because most
Yeah.
magnesium supplements, even the high quality, higher absorbable forms, are not super expensive.
Right.
The oxide is very, very cheap, and so if you're on a budget, oxide is going to be better than nothing.
Right.
And so as long as you're able to tolerate it without having the upset stomach,
Right.
you could potentially take a slightly higher dose of the
Right.
oxide to get a little bit more of,
Right.
bang for your buck and have a little bit more. But yeah, it's one of those that is underlooked by patients and sometimes providers too, because a lot of these things are, we attribute to just life.
Yes. Yes.
So well, there's
That's right.
nothing you can do about that.
But
When you
there
get older,
is.
you can't sleep. You're tired. Your muscles aren't going to function. But there's things you can do, and always recommend starting with diet. That's the natural way.
Yes.
You can incorporate it into meals, which you have to eat. So, but if it doesn't work for you, it's good to know that there's a supplementation option out there. And so if somebody's calling us on the phone, at the pharmacy, we're gonna walk them through what's best for them, and if they're talking about muscle cramps or muscle function or blood pressure, I'm looking at magnesium.
Right.
And also brain health too, help support healthy brain
wow.
along with the fish oil. So if you're looking for something for just that energy is key.
Yes.
And so talk to us at Medical Park Pharmacy. We'd love to help you. Our number's 252-443-7979. And we're in the Medical Park building, or Boyce Willis Clinic building, on 901 Winstead Avenue, first door on your right when you come in. We'd love to help you with all of your over-the-counter and supplement needs, and that's what we're here for.
Well, I'm so glad you talked about this morning, because we hear so much about people, they tell me, oh, I'm taking vitamin C, and I'm taking vitamin D, and I'm taking this, I'm taking that vitamin. But nobody ever says magnesium.
Yeah, I think people are grabbing whatever they can think
what they
might help
think about.
them.
People don't think about
Yeah, if we can
magnesium.
hone in on what the actual underlying issue is, we
Yeah.
can really usually trim down the number of meds that you're taking and really focus on what will actually work. So, but the pharmacist is the perfect person to talk
Oh, yes,
with about that. So
absolutely.
develop that relationship. We want to help, and we're the most accessible healthcare provider in the
really
community
are.
typically, because we're so accessible and easy to access as far as calling or walking in. So we'd love to help.
Absolutely. Thank you, Thomas.
Absolutely. Thanks,
for the
Andrew.
info this morning, and we'll see you back in 2 weeks. And we'll see you back right after this.
This weather segment is brought to you by Fred's Food Club, the home of rock bottom prices. Accepting cash, credit, debit, and EBT cards. New extended hours in 3 locations to serve you in Rocky Mount, Wilson, and Greenville.
And we'll take a final look at our weather for this Wednesday morning. Let's go outside and check the current conditions. 66 degrees, dew point at 63, relative humidity now at 88%. The wind's northeast, 4 miles per hour, 30.19. The barometer reading. Let's take a look at the satellite picture, and we are into the month of August now, so I have to pay a little closer look to the tropics, except there is not much going on out there at all right now. Here we have a system that's been out there for at least a week, and it's not moved much at all, and I don't think it's going to amount to much of anything, but I believe it's going to merge with this front right here. It's going to move to the north and get caught up in this front over the north central Atlantic, and that'll be about it. As far as anything else, nothing really showing up. We have the African coast here and the intertropical convergence zone coming off that. and a tropical wave coming into the Lesser Antilles right out here. And over the Caribbean, just a gathering of showers and thunderstorms off Venezuela. And that's just about it for the tropics right now. Nothing going on, but still something we'll have to keep an eye on. Well, let's take a look at the forecast for our area again. For today, sunny, high of 87, clear tonight, low of 63. Increasing clouds for Thursday with a high of 87. Thursday night, there's a chance of showers and storms late Thursday night with a low of 69. Chance of showers and thunderstorms Friday and Friday night, a high of 80, a low of 70. For Saturday, partly cloudy, high of 88. Partly cloudy Saturday night with a low of 70. Sunny on Sunday with a high of 91. Clear Sunday night with a low of 72. A high temperature across the country yesterday, 111. That was at Rio Grande Village, Texas. And the low, 33 degrees. That was at Bynum, Montana. Currently, we have 66 degrees, and that's your weather and a look at the tropics right up to now.
Well,
back.
Sandra and I are excited to be back with you.
We are.
We've had, I think, a very interesting morning until this time. And
The moral of the story is take your magnesium, Roger. Go get
well,
it.
I tell you,
Go get
and
it.
that is, we have a call. Let's see. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sandra and Roger. I wanted to pass on some information to you, and particularly the folks who might be listening in or watching. I don't know if this has been brought up or not. I've been tied up this morning, so I hadn't heard any of your programs, but if I'm repetitive, I apologize. If people will go to the website, WorldNet Daily.
WorldNet Daily.
WorldNet Daily.
Daily. Okay.
There's an article in there. I'm sure the next day or two all we'll hear about will be the impending situation with Mr. Trump and being indicted and all that. But I think those people who really want to know what the deal is need to go to WorldNet Daily. The first story on the webpage. That's awfully important. It's sitting in the Korean. That's why I'm not going to say anything about it. But I would encourage everybody to read that and just, whatever response they might have, just pass it on. Sandra, I wanted to ask you a quick question.
Okay.
When Sherwood comes on again,
Who is that now?
Sherwood, when Sherwood comes on,
Say that again.
when Sherwood comes on,
Sure.
Sherwood,
Sailboat.
your main man, he comes on Thursday.
The guy on your financial.
Cheryl Braswell.
Yeah.
Cheryl Braswell.
Anyway,
Yes.
ask him, and you all may know this, you may not, but I think it's the 22nd of this month, some of the larger countries in the world, being Russia, China, India, and quite a few others, are supposed to get together, and the purpose of their getting together is to reduce and to ultimately do away with the
That has been discussed, yeah.
That may be something y'all might want to look
Yeah,
at.
I will tell Cheryl, and he might want to mention that on his show. Yes, he won't be on this Thursday. He'll be on next Thursday. So I'll mention it to him.
Okay, if you make sure to mention that would be great, because
Okay.
I think that's something that's going to have an impact on everyone who's listening in, everyone throughout the country.
Okay. Well, we appreciate you calling.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Well, there's been discussion of that, but I think we're a little bit away from it.
Yeah, probably so. But how many more things are they going to try to pin on Trump?
Well, as long as
More things.
Well, the thing is, as soon as Biden gets a strike, within 24 hours, they accuse Trump of something else.
Absolutely.
It's almost
every
impossible to think any one individual could do so much wrong to have
Well,
done
he
so
said,
much
I'm going
good.
to run from jail.
Well, he's a diehard, but it's got to be tough each and every day with his
Yes,
family and everything.
It does. But I see
tell
his
you-
daughters joined him again, and Jared,
Well, he's.
son-in-law.
I mean, I cannot believe our judicial system, our justice system, is letting this happen. It is like a socialist, communist country.
It's terrible.
Where it is terrible. It is absolutely. But I think a lot of citizens are realizing this because each time that it's a pattern. And there's nobody out there that I think can say, oh, it's fair. Bull. It's not fair.
Well, what is it they're saying now that he will have, now that they've done all this, he's got subpoena power now.
Is that right?
Trump. They said,
Well,
he
yeah,
said,
they
I've got
said,
subpoena power
he
now.
said now he can reopen the case
Yes.
and try it again.
Yes.
And I don't think Biden wants that.
No. Be careful what you.
Yeah.
You might
I
get
told
what
you can't
don't
help
want.
stupid.
So
You can't.
Mm-mm.
I mean, when you got a full dose. But it's like a mafia family. It is like a mafia
It
family.
really is. It's just awful. Awful.
Yeah, there's
But
nothing.
we'll see what happens with that. We'll keep you up to date with that. Maybe talk about that a little bit next
Well,
week.
everything,
too.
to me, they are keeping his name constantly. And that's why he won in 16, because everybody was using his name.
The more they talk about him,
That's
more
right.
popular he gets.
And quite often, people aren't listening to the rest of the story. They're just listening to Donald Trump.
Yeah, that's right.
And he's got the willpower like not many I've been around in my life.
He's awful strong.
But
He really
you
is.
see how one is treated and how the other one is treated. It's like having a favorite child.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that gets old also. Well, Sandra, it's been exciting. We appreciate the excitement that we had in the first hour.
We've had a lot of calls today.
Yeah, and the positive response. It seems like today a lot of people are voicing their opinion about the possibilities in the city. And we gave them some facts because, Sandra, 5,000 jobs starting at 50,000 or better, benefits, free meals, opportunities to develop a career, not a job. The Edgecombe and Nash Community College in Westland will have programs that will be developing and training. It's a no-lose situation. It
Yes,
just is
it
a
is.
no-lose situation, and I want you to be on my team in promoting this. I mean, I'm thinking about our children
Yes.
and our grandchildren who want to stay here. And right now, how often? Oh, there's nothing to do. Let's go to Raleigh. Well, I tell you, if this entertainment center comes, there's going to be something to do.
Yes, there will be
and
plenty to
you
do.
won't have any excuses. And that's why professionals like to go to cities with entertainment centers
That's
like
right.
this.
That's right.
And a lot of the cities, Little Washington and all around, have the social, in Raleigh, the
Yeah.
social centers now, so that you can socialize and everything.
Well, why do we go out of town? Let's face it. You don't go out of town where there's nothing.
That's
You
right.
don't.
And this
You
would,
go out of town to do something, Roger.
the publicity, the positive publicity. And if you do the research, just the word connotes a certain tone.
Mm-hmm.
But once you research it, you find out that was in the 30s and 40s and 50s.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Because it's so regulated now.
Mhm.
I mean, so regulated with
Really
IDs and things. But it's been another great Wednesday, and
It
we have
has.
been enjoyed so much being with you, and look forward to being with you next week. And with that, Sandra, you have a nice week, rest
You
of the
too,
week,
Roger.
and audience.
And you all as well.
We think a lot of you. Thank you. Hopefully, we're doing a good job for you.